everyone, my name is Ty. Welcome back to another video. We're back with Roblox, and today we're going to be quote-unquote playing Blade Ball, and this is actually just a discussion video on me rating every single ability that I own in the game. And you might be thinking, why not just do a tier list? Well, for me, I am decent at the game, but I don't think I can give a objective opinion on how good these objectively are. So most of these are just subjective, which actually all these are pretty subjective, but I will try to be a little bit objective. And so I'm just going to be giving all these abilities a rating of 1 through 10 and just giving my opinions. So first up is Dash, and I'm giving the 5.5 out of 10. It's a default ability. It's nothing good, but it's also not terrible. It can be good to dash towards the ball when the ball's going pretty slow, and this can kind of throw off the player that's being targeted. In this ability, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. The reason I'm saying this is because it's really easy to get into standoff, because this is meant for someone that doesn't want to engage with the ball and just wants to just lay back and try to get the wins. Now, my friend Kylie, if you're watching this, I hate you. She uses this ability a lot on me. And when you're in the middle of a clash and it's going pretty fast, when she's getting targeted and she goes invisible, that ball is pretty likely to go back to me, and then I get killed without realizing. So it's pretty annoying for me, but it does work very well, and I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. The super jump, I'm giving a 5.5 out of 10. The high jump nature, and if you parry the ball in the air, that just gives it a different timing, and you don't really know how to predict it. So at least that's for me. It is kind of confusing, and I do think it's pretty cool. And the cooldown is pretty fast, so you can be jumping all day. Platform, I'm also giving a 5.5 out of 10. It's about the same as super jump, except you can stay in the air for a lot longer. Well, of course, you have the option to jump down. And like I said, the high jump nature, or just parrying the ball at a very high distance in the air, is kind of confusing. And if you're not looking and you're being targeted, you might not know where the ball is. Quad jump, I'm giving a 3 out of 10. Jumping is not my thing. I don't really jump that much, and also it's a passive, so you can't really use it often. Well, you can, but it's just not your typical ability. Does it work? Yes. Do I like it? No. Luck, I'm giving a 3 out of 10. This honestly might be one of the worst abilities in the game, in my personal opinion. Does it work? Kind of, but honestly, I don't see a super crazy change when it comes to how much less you're getting targeted, because the whole point of luck is to not get the ball as much, but really once you get down to 4 or 3 players, it's going to be normal. Thunder Dash, I'm giving a 6 out of 10. I thought about a 6.5 out of 10, but maybe that's a little bit too high, so I think 6 out of 10 will do. It's very spammable because of how fast the cooldown is, and it's quite literally Dash on steroids. Shadow Step, I'm giving a 5.5 out of 10. I like the speed boost. You can run real fast, and the Shadow Nature kind of makes you look invisible. And what kind of like Dash, you can kind of clash with people early on and kind of throw them off because how fast you're moving. So that's pretty cool. The freeze ability, I'm giving it 6.5 out of 10. Now, ever since I saw this, to me, this always seemed like a cheap version of telekinesis, where you freeze the ball in place, and then someone or even you can parry the ball when it's frozen in place. Or you wait after 5 seconds, and then that ball will go to the person that was targeted. Now, I would rate the freeze ability a point higher if every single time you froze the ball and you could parry it, because sometimes a lot of times when you freeze the ball, someone else is going to get targeted. So I would like it better if you could get it if you froze the ball. The Wind Cloak, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. It's a simple speed and jump boost, nothing crazy, but I do like it. I do slightly prefer this over Shadow Step because it is consistent and the speed boost is great. Force Field, I'm giving 8 out of 10. Now, this is kind of like invisibility in which you can't get hit, but I do prefer this more than Force Field because you do have the chance to get kills. Unlike invisibility, when you're invisible, you won't get targeted. No one will see where you're at until you reappear. With Force Field, you have the chance to get kills. However, the Force Field doesn't actually last that long. I think 8 seconds or so, which even at the max out rate, that's not that long. So overall, I do like the Force Field, but I wish it lasted longer because 8 seconds is not that long. Reaper, I'm giving a 6.5 out of 10. This is a very good passive, but since it's a passive, it's not super consistent. But when you get a kill, you get a crazy speed buff, especially with both upgrades. but the parry strength isn't that noticeable. You're mainly using this for the speed buff, and it's great, but if you can't get the kills, it's kind of useless. Rage and Deflection, I'm giving it a 5.5 out of 10. Now, unfortunately, this is overshadowed by Rapture, but this can still be useful in the early games when it's super slow, because the Rage and Deflection, it speeds up the ball. That's the whole purpose of it. And when it's slow, you can kind of throw people off, but once you get into the later, like when the ball gets pretty fast, it's not going to be that noticeable. But still can be useful in the early game. Martyrdom, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. Now, I like the idea of it where you die, you have the chance to kill someone after you die, but there's also a chance that they might see it in time, so it's cool, but I'm not a big fan of passives, so basically you're just playing the whole game without ability until you die. Scopophobia, I'm giving a 4.5 out of 10. Now, the whole point is that you're supposed to slow people down when you're looking at them, and it does work. I haven't used this enough, so I can't really say what's the biggest use for this, but I think when you're kind of clashing with someone, you can throw them off by having them not run as fast as they normally would. So, it's cool, but I haven't used this enough, so I can't really give a firm opinion on this ability. Misfortune is the opposite of luck. 4.5 out of 10. If you're like me, who doesn't really get any targets, this is for you, but even then, you're not really doing anything crazy, you're just trying to get more targets. Ninja Dash is a 4 out of 10. Now, the whole point of this ability is like a second life, so let's say you block early, you can use this ability, and then dash towards the ball, and then you get a second chance, basically. However, that's it. There's other abilities like Rage and Deflection and Rapture that can do the same thing, but you can fling the ball a lot faster, so this works, but it's kind of boring. Swap is a 5 out of 10. Now, this actually used to be my least favorite ability because I didn't like, and I still don't like that it only teleports a random player, like it swaps you and a random player. I think it'd be better if you can swap between you and the person that's being targeted. I think that's a lot better, but it's still a pretty fun ability with both upgrades because it is kind of fast. Telekinesis, I'm giving it a 9.9 out of 10. This is very subjective, of course, but this is my most used and my favorite ability within the whole game. I've had a lot of success in casual servers because a lot of times I don't get targets, and it's nice to be able to do something without getting a target. I can freeze the ball and send the ball flying to somewhere else. I don't know, I just really love this ability. Pull is a 9 out of 10. This is actually, I believe, one of the best free-to-play abilities in my opinion. When you're clashing one-on-ones, there's a pretty good chance you will win, assuming you use this right. So if I'm in a 1v1 situation and we're clashing and it's going pretty fast, and assuming we have some distance, I can pull the ball right as they're about to block, and then block it myself, and then they can't block it because their cooldown is still going, and then I win. This is amazing for 1v1s if you use it right. Aerodynamic Slash is an 8.5 out of 10. This is kind of like Telekinesis in some ways, not really. But this makes a tornado sending the ball at a very high speed. This speed is actually very noticeable, and this is a timing I actually have struggles with to this day. So this is a great ability if you just want to fling the ball at someone. Golden Ball is the 6 out of 10. Assuming you get the kills, this is an easy way to have the chance to literally wipe out every single person in the whole game. But since it's a passive, it's not consistent because you have to get the kill for it to work. So overall, it's still a cool passive to use. Gale's Edge is a 6 out of 10. Now, I think this is best in 1v1s if you use it straight into the direction of the player that is being targeted, because the whole point is that it carries the ball, and when you have both upgrades, you can pause it for about a half second before it flings their way. So it's kind of cool. Nothing crazy though, but it's a little weird. Hell Hook, I'm giving a 5.5 out of 10. I prefer this over Swap. This is actually basically half a Swap where you bring a random player to yourself. Just like with Swap, I wish that you could bring the targeted player to yourself. I think that's just objectively better in my opinion, but still a fun ability to use. QI Charge, I'm giving a 7.5 out of 10. This is basically Reaper if you're impatient like me, and where you get a speed buff and parry strength, and when you have both upgrades, the parry strength, like the ball, goes pretty fast, especially at the lower speeds. So This is great if you like the Reaper idea, but since it's a passive, it's not consistent. With Key Ride Charts, it's an ability, and you basically get unlimited like boost. So I definitely recommend this, in my opinion. Pulse is a 3 out of 10. It's kind of cool, but it's nothing crazy. Chieftain's Totem is a 3.5 out of 10. Now, I was very excited to use this ability, but the only thing that it really offers is the speed boost and the slow debuff. The parry strength is not very noticeable. I don't really see a difference at all. And overall, I think if you could slow down everyone in the game, that would be adjustably better, but its speed boost is there, but that's really all it's offering. Blade Trap, I'm giving a 6.5 out of 10. This is a great ability for defense. When I first bought this, I tried to treat it like an offense ability, but that's not how it's meant to be. And the reason I say this is, for example, let's say someone's using the Slashes of Fury. When that ball is flying, and let's say it goes to you, your Blade Trap will trap it, and it will pause the ball and send the ball flying at a higher speed too. So this is a great defense ability, not so much an offense ability. Flash Counter, I'm giving an 8.5 out of 10. To this day, I still don't know why that this is a good ability, but it is. The whole point is that whoever parries the ball to you can send yourself and the ball to them at a light speed. Although not really, because it depends on the ball speed, but overall, if the ball is going really fast, they might die instantly, and then the ball is going really slow, you can throw them off. So this is a great ability. I still can't wrap around my head how it is actually useful, but it is. Absolute Confidence, I'm giving a 7.5 out of 10. This is a very aggressive ability because this is just for someone that doesn't have any patience and like, I want to get more targets. This is literally for you. You get a speed boost, and no matter what, every single time someone pairs the ball, it goes to you. So this is a very aggressive ability. If you like to play laid back, this is not for you. Guardian Angel is a 9.5 out of 10. This is objectively one of the best abilities, purely because it's a life-saving passive ability. You get 3 lives, assuming you get the upgrade, and it's just a super clutch ability to use. However, unfortunately, this doesn't work in standoff. Rapture is a 6.5 out of 10. This is the better version of Rage and Deflection. Unfortunately, this ability can't be upgraded, but I still think this is better than Rage and Deflection because the parry speed is better, and it adds a nice curve to it, so it can throw off the people that you're targeting to. So, great ability, but unfortunately, it can't be upgraded.